There's a trend now becoming commonplace in the Western world. Some folks are so adept at this game that a new word has been coined to describe the illness. It's called victimology. This disease is actually a symptom of gross immaturity. People who cannot or refuse to accept responsibility for their decisions often find others to blame rather than admit error and fix it. A classic example of this victim mentality is occasionally seen in the home education world as well. If you are refusing to move on with life, thinking that the world owes you a living, you're deluded. I really like what Mark Twain had to say about that. He said, "Don't go around saying the world owes you a living. The world owes you nothing. It was here first." Wise words. If you lack ambition, you have a problem, and it is not your parents' fault. There comes a time when you need to grow up. Talk to the mirror, because that's where the problem lies. Thinking that the world owes you anything is a bad idea. Similarly, if you were told you did not qualify for admission to college, it is not likely because you were targeted. Either you failed to inform them of your being home educated, so alternative admission criteria could be applied, or you did not have the required prerequisite subjects, or your marks are poor. Whatever the reason, you failed. Not your parents, not the institution, nor anybody else. Blaming others for your issues is a bad idea. Another bad idea that can cloud your judgment about your future is when you compare yourself or your choices with others. Just be comfortable with yourself and trust that while you may not be perfect, you have made your decisions based on the best possible information, which includes awareness of your personal characteristics and the advice of others. Comparing yourself with others is a bad idea. Attending college thinking that this will reveal your inner being and your destination is another bad idea. Consider that if you are not self-confident, you are susceptible to further indoctrination by the ideologically driven nature of most of the academics occupying teaching positions, as well as your peers in college. In other words, if you don't know who you are, you may be paying others not so much to help you find yourself or your direction, but to create their version of what they think you should be and do. Beware. This is a very bad idea. Better to know what you want to do in the first place and to determine if institutional post-secondary training is necessary at all. Many times you could do things without needing government approval, certification, or institutional training. As a self-taught, home-educated learner, it is often much better to skip the official program in favor of teaching yourself what you have to learn in order to best do what you have to do when you need to do it. That is how we were created to learn. However, if college is needed to get the certification necessary to do what God has created you to do, then do it. If you are not confident with yourself, if you are lost or unsure of your attributes, you will never discover yourself or your career at college. Furthermore, it is one very expensive and potentially dangerous way to find your place in this world. Going to college, to say that you went to college, is another bad idea. Likely the most common bad idea regarding choosing a career is called going with the flow. This is very different from walking by faith, where you work as though it depends completely on you while trusting that God will see you through. People often plan to fail by failing to plan. True, you have as limited a vision of the future as everyone else, but choosing a career should be an active, not a passive pursuit. To confuse lethargy with faith is also a bad idea. Now let's review our list of bad ideas as prescribed by a godless secular world. We can be anything we want to be. Sure, if in keeping with our positive attributes. Success is based on temporal objectives with no eternal purpose. This is limiting. Higher education guarantees success. Not really. Although higher learning can provide more options. Perfection is to be sought after, only if eternity is a goal. Your failures are not your fault. This prevents you from maturing. One should compare oneself with others. This prevents contentment. Attending college will help you find your way. If you're not clear as to where you're going, wait until you do know. Careers will happen without being proactive. This may be true, but will it be the right career? I'm sure there are many, many more bad ideas that can mislead you into your future. Obviously, the best thing that you can do is to avoid bad ideas. This can be accomplished in two ways. One is to identify a bad idea and avoid doing that. The other is to involve people who love you and are genuinely concerned for your well-being, who most likely have experienced at least some of these bad ideas, and they can advise you. Everyone makes mistakes. Seek wisdom from those who have walked through this career search activity. They are likely to reveal even more bad ideas than what we have discussed here.